Mika and Raimi began to look through the rest of the space station, trying to find the business center. They always had them on board these space stations, places where individuals would go in order to conduct business, settle transactions, make arrangements, barter, wheel, and deal. Mika had seen them many times, but had never actually gotten to participate herself. But now, as captain of a newly acquired vessel, she could now be the mainstay, the center of attention, as you might call it. And after a few minutes of searching, they finally found it. A place called the Borama Tavern. As they entered, Mika saw basically what she was expecting. Countless people seated around different tables, waiting to discuss business with other people, or those already discussing business. Some already inside of privacy sections. Basically, in these type of business locations, it's typical to have security measures at tables in order for people to be able to discuss business privately. One of these security measures is a privacy field. Basically, whenever you and the other person are discussing something that you don't want overheard or spied on, you can activate the privacy screen, at which point a gel substance will create a barrier around the table and all occupants, sealing itself up, then hardening into a solid substance that you can't see through, and you can't hear through it either, no matter what type of device you're using. Once that happens, you're officially alone at the table with whoever you're having the discussion with. On top of that, they often had one more extra security measure, but it was very rarely ever used. This one specifically because people didn't like their brains being messed with. Basically, it was a device which you would attach to the back of your head. This device would essentially lock down the memory centers of your brain, so that any information overheard during the time period was locked and sealed. If an arrangement could not be met between the two individuals, upon the end of the discussion, the device would generate an electrical pulse, not a powerful one, but a very targeted one. It would specifically kill the electrical signals that saved the information within your brain. Basically, if you didn't come to an arrangement, an agreement in which you agreed to participate in whatever the bargain was, then the device effectively kills your memory of the events. You have no recollection whatsoever of what transpired, what deal was offered, or the details of it. Complete secrecy. Mika and Raimi approached the bar nearby, where there was a somewhat scruffy-looking individual serving drinks. He looked like a Perrin. Perrins weren't known for their sociable personalities. You could always tell them from the flurry of spikes that protruded from their body, small quills that stuck out just about everywhere, from their head and arms. Their prickly physique, along with their prickly personalities, made them hard to miss. As Mika and Raimi approached the bar, the individual approached. "Okay, what do you want? Make it quick, I got shit to do." "Yeah, I'm here looking for business. I'm open for jobs, so I want to put my ship on the market for services. Here's my information tag," Mika said, holding out the small tag which contained the relevant information for her ship. It was common for people to use technological means in these little bars. Basically, your information, your capabilities, your ship, would all be listed in a digital display that anyone who entered the tavern on business could look up. And if they liked what they saw, they could offer you a job. The parent behind the bar quickly reached for something underneath it, grabbing a small box and inserting the information drive that Mika gave her into it. There was a short wait and then a beep. Afterwards, the box released a small band. "And there you go," he said, grabbing the small band and handing it over to Mika. "If someone requests a conversation with you, their table will be displayed on the band. You're then free to join them at the table for a conversation if you're interested. So, are you getting anything to drink or can I get lost already?" the parent said, scowling in Mika's direction. "Yeah, get me a Sulak breeze. And get my little friend here some Joro juice." "Ugh, what does this look like, a fucking nursery?" "No, it looks like a bar, and you look like a bartender. Don't give me that look. I know you carry this stuff for mixed drinks. There shouldn't be any problem at all with serving it just as it is, no alcohol. As long as the money's there, you do it. Or have things changed in bars?" "All right, you smart ass," the parent replied. "I'll be right back with your drinks," he said as he strolled to the other side of the bar and began mixing up Mika's drink, along with Raimi's juice. "Well, thanks, Captain. You didn't have to stick up for me like that." "Don't worry about it, Raimi," Mika replied. "Remember, you're a member of my crew, and you're welcome anywhere I am. You can kiss the days of getting kicked around goodbye. I won't hear of it, you understand?" Yes, thanks, Mika," Raimi replied, rubbing the top of his head a bit and smiling as he looked down at the bar. Raimi and Mika soon got their drinks and sat and enjoyed a conversation amongst each other as they waited, hoping that someone would offer them a job. They went through a few drinks before Mika heard a beeping noise as her band suddenly began to alight around her wrist, changing from red to blue and displaying the number 8. "Well, it looks like we have a job offer. About time. We've been here for nearly an hour. I was starting to think we'd be here until the new crew showed up for interviews. But this is good. At least we can get a job on the table before everyone gets here. And I have to start making selections." Mika turned around and began to scan over the tables at the bar, finally narrowing down the section she was looking for and finding table 8. There, sitting at the table, seemed to be a fairly well-dressed gentleman. A Kothian, if her knowledge served her correctly, which was actually fairly strange for this segment of space. Kothians were from a long distance off, and if she wasn't mistaken, they were currently embroiled in some sort of war with one of their neighboring races, which left little room for getaway trips. Mika stood up from her seat at the bar, grabbing her drink and beginning to make her way over to the table, as Raimi followed behind, soon finding themselves at table 8, sitting down in front of the man. "Hello, my name is Captain Mika, of the starship Exovol. You made a request to speak with me, correct?" "Well, yes, I suppose," the man said, looking Mika over questionably, almost disapprovingly. "I was expecting a man, someone with a bit more seasoning, not a young woman such as yourself. How exactly did you come in possession of a Class A vessel?" "That's not part of our business, buddy. So let's cut the funny business and get down to brass tacks. Exactly what is it that you want from me?" Mika said, crossing her arms and legs and looking intensely across the table.